All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the JCP End Zone Perspective NFL Week 8 show with the trade deadline special because that was yesterday, and boy, were there some moves made, but we'll get there with that. Um, Folks, we're gonna jump right into things. Oh, hold on, I almost
Oh,
missed the guy, Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, Cole is with me again. Jacob is still on the IR with his knee because apparently he can't put a bed up or a chair to rest his leg on. I don't know. Anyways,
we're
I'll
not
get there.
doctors.
Exactly. Um, what a crazy week of football. Trades yesterday that blew people's minds.
Oh,
Like
trades
what?
galore.
I got a I got a text the other day. I was like, from Cole actually. And I was like, no, he didn't do that. I was like, wait. Traded the other guy. Why? So we'll get there, everyone. This is going to be a long show, maybe a longer show. 3 segments though, but 2 of them are going to be longer, and you know which ones those are. Fantasy takes are back again because who doesn't love fantasy takes from, well, not anyone who's experts, but we kind of know what we're doing.
Just a tad.
So with that, we're gonna jump into the week 8 action here, and let me get the game box up here because I'm 3 things behind today. Okay. Anyways, Buccaneers lost a close one in Buffalo on Thursday night. Um, Josh Allen, 31 of 40, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. James Cook, 14 carries, 67 yards. Josh Allen had 7 rushes for 41 yards and a touchdown. They ran the ball 26 times. And Khalil Shakur, 6 receptions, 92 yards. Gabe Davis, 9 receptions, 87 yards, 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 9 receptions, 7 yards. And also, I'm clapping in the back. You probably couldn't hear it, but congratulations, Dalton Kincaid, on your first NFL touchdown. Um,
Well deserved.
that's well deserved, and you're gonna love Buffalo. On the other side, Baker Mayfield, 25 of 42, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. They spread the ball a little bit of everyone rushing the football. They had 17 carries though. Rashad White had 7 receptions, 70 yards. Chris Godwin, 5 receptions, 54 yards, 1 touchdown. Mike Evans, 3 receptions, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Excuse me. Ooh. Um, Cole.
Yes, sir.
This was a game that in the second quarter picked up steam, and then from there both defenses showed. Um, what do you got for this one?
Well, I think the takeaways here are massive. I think if you look at, what the execution was of both teams, I think they had very similar takeaways. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you look at when the running backs got the ball, here's the stat line of that. Rashid White, 9 rushes, 39 yards. Chase Edmonds, 3 rushes, 5 yards. And Keyshawn Vaughn, 1 rush, 1 yard. Now, technically, there was 17 rushing attempts. They gave one to Godwin and Baker Mayfield at 3. But again, and we talked about this a week ago, you can go back and look at the show if you don't believe me. Why are offensive coordinators not balanced? This game pisses me off because of that reason. I mean, just look at the Bills. James Cook, 14 rushes, 67 yards. Latavius Murray, 5 for 7. Like, do we get to a point like, and believe me, I get it, Baker can sling it, Josh Allen can sling it. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm just saying, like, to win games, you have to have a balanced attack. You have to keep the defense honest. And, when you're not doing that, you're very one dimensional, you're predictable. It might work, like for Buffalo, for example, it might work against a lower team like Tampa Bay, but it is not going to work when you get to a big time game. And that's been proven. So I don't understand offensive coordinating again. It's truly embarrassing to see a professional team not have trust in their run game. So please figure that out. But in terms of this game, I will say The Tampa Bay defense played, pretty good. They had a pick with Golston, and then they had 2 sacks and three quarterback hits. They had like 5 pressures in total on Josh Allen, so that's good when you're getting pushed up front. The Bills defense did pretty good too. They were able to affect the quarterback. They were able to hit the quarterback 10 times. They were able to sack the QB 3 times. And all in all, just kind of live in that backfield, make life a little bit tougher on Baker. So I also want to say hats off to Baker Mayfield for, coming through and being safe with the football despite all that. Still having 2 touchdowns. Sure, he missed on, a few attempts, but, you know, 17 to be exact, but you're not going to be perfect, especially when you're, getting rushed at all game. So this was kind of frustrating, but kind of a good game.
Yeah, and this goes back to something that I've been saying for a long time, and something that you've been saying for a while, and we've addressed on the show a couple times, but I'm going to bring it to light again. This is how Buffalo shoots themselves in the foot every year in the playoffs. Look at last year when they played Cincinnati; they couldn't run the football for anything, so they couldn't
Yep.
pass. Cincinnati teed off on Josh, and that's just what it is, and that's going to be the Buffalo way for the foreseeable future, apparently. But
Have fun
on to
with
the
another wild card loss.
exactly. Now on to the next game here. Matthew Stafford got injured in the game, but the Rams lost by 23 to the Cowboys, 20-43. Um, yeah, I don't listen. Darrell Henderson, 12 rushes, 31 yards. Royce Freeman, 9 rushes, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Besides that, Dallas. Not Dallas. Aaron Donald had 2 sacks for LA. That was and the Jordan Fuller pick. That's about all they had to be happy about. Meanwhile, Tony Pollard, 12 rushes, 53 yards. Dak Prescott, 25 of 31, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Um, CeeDee Lamb, 12 receptions, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks also had a receiving touchdown along with 3 receptions, and Jake Ferguson, 4 receptions and a touchdown. Cole,
Yep.
what's up with this Dallas team?
Man, they're freaky. Quite literally, this is that team. They're the Notre Dame of the pro football. I'm going to say that outright because they come out and they look good against teams they're supposed to be, like really good. And then they get into the big moment and they choke when it really matters. They get, if we're looking at Notre Dame, they lose on the last second play, having 10 players on the field. You lose to Louisville in a game that honestly you should have had. And the Cowboys are no different here. You lose to San Francisco when you're questioned. You get upset by the Cardinals a few weeks ago. But then against a team like the Rams, who are very on and off, you dominate because they're not very good. With that being said, and Cowboys fans, I hate to break your heart, but honestly, this team does it every year. So at this point, I think you're pretty okay with it. This is not a playoff team. This is not, going to be a team that goes far and shocks people. There's too many issues. Now, I will say, again, congrats on beating the Rams. They're not very good, but you dominated. Saying this game was over at halftime is a compliment because it was over before that. Um, and it's just the way it's gone for the Rams this year. They've had really good moments, and then they had moments like this to where, you really wonder the legitimacy of this team and what exactly the problem is with this team. Because, some people said it was Matthew Stafford earlier on, a year ago, even this year. Some people say it's the defense. I don't think you can necessarily say that. I really don't know what the problem is. I definitely wouldn't blame Sean McVay here. I don't think it's him. I'm just not too sure about what is wrong with this Rams team, where the repair goes. Something needs to change though in LA if they want to have any shot of maybe an outside wild card appearance. As for Dallas, like I said, it's par of the course. You're going to continue to look good in games you should, and then you're going to choke when it matters. So that is my takeaway here. What about you, Jude?
But I'm with you on that one. I don't. Where does it begin? Is it the O line? It's got to be the O line or
Possibly,
something.
but I mean, they only gave up 2 sacks.
That's true. I don't. I don't know what it is. Then it's. I mean, maybe the linebacking core. The secondary is not great. Jalen Ramsey's not there anymore.
True.
That's. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Dak Prescott looked good, so it's probably the secondary and the linebackers.
I'd say that's fair.
So, yeah, that's all I got for that one. And Dallas, like Cole said, you're not going to go anywhere. And if you do, cool. You beat a team that probably shouldn't have been there. Congrats. But the second it's like a Niners, you guys forget how to play football. Hell, you guys couldn't beat a limping Aaron Rodgers if you wanted to.
No.
So, you know, it's just the Dallas
It's
way.
the Cowboys way.
So on to the next game here. We're gonna go into the rivalry of the NFC North. Vikings beat the Packers at home again, 24-10. Kirk Cousins, man, I pull for you hard, and I admit sometimes you can be a bonehead, but this one hurts a little bit to watch you go down. 23-31, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns before he got hurt. Jaron Hall, 3 of 4, 23 yards. Alexander Madison, 16 carries, 31 yards. Meanwhile, Cam Akers had 9 carries for 19 yards and 1 touchdown. KJ Osborne, 8 receptions, 99 yards. TJ Hawkinson, 6 receptions, 88 yards, a touchdown. And Jordan Addison, 7 receptions, 82 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jordan Love, on the other hand, for the Packers, 24 of 41, 229 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. There was like no running in this game for Green Bay whatsoever. Jaden Reed, 4 receptions, 83 yards. Yeah, I mean, this Packers team is awful.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of people, and myself included, really kind of want to jump on Jordan Love, kind of laugh at him. But honestly, if we're being, 100% here, you can't blame Jordan Love fully for this. 4 sacks for 33 yards, not running the football to your backs, like maybe I think it was 13 times in total you ran with your backs. Again,
Yeah.
balance people. I've only said it, like maybe 20 or so times between the past 2 weeks. Um, and honestly, wide receiver wise, like, okay, I hate to be this guy, but like, why does everybody fall in love with this Packers wide receiving core? I have never seen it. I really mean
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, Christian Watson is okay. Romeo Dubes is okay. He's not great. He's okay. Jaden Reed is your biggest guy. He's, I'm not trying to be mean here, but he's not great either. I mean, you really have young guns, but no, nobody is separating themselves from the pack, in my opinion. Now, this defense, I like this defense. I think they do a really good job of, limiting the big plays. They do a good job of pressuring the quarterback. I mean, I know, statistically there's only 3 sacks, but I think it seemed like every other play it was kind of tougher on the quarterback. The run defense has some stuff to be desired. I mean, they held Madison and Akers to pretty low numbers, but I just think they're a little bit away from where you want to see them defensively, but they're getting there. Offensively, to me, is the huge problem with this Packers team. As for the Vikings, I know we're going to get into who they brought in at quarterback, so I'm not going to spoil that, but just I don't like what this team is doing, where they're headed. I like their wide receiving core. I don't really care so much. Like, this is quite literally the bar in the NFL, if that makes sense. Like, they're never going to be great. They're never going to be awful. They're just the middle of the road. Hey, if you beat them, you might have something. If you lose to them, it's kind of there. I mean, not the standard per se, but like the measuring stick of the NFL, if I had to categorize them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I could, yeah, because they'll beat you if you're good, but they'll also lose to you if you're bad. So it's kind of
Right.
like a pick your poison on which team shows up, I guess. um. Anyways, folks, we're gonna move on to a game that was first of all, there was a bunch of quarterback stats, and there's touchdowns everywhere, and there's yards thrown out windows and handed out to people for free. D Hop. Will Levis is a dog. Taylor Henneke, also a dog, but Derrick Henry was in true form as the Titans edged out the Falcons 28-23. I'm going to start off with Derrick Henry stats, and I'm going to
Oh,
work
we
our
got to get
way.
the graphic here.
Oh, my Lord, I'm behind.
It's all good.
The Derrick Henry, 22 carries, 101 yards. Yes, no touchdown, but you don't need it when Will Levis is dropping dimes. 19 passes, 4 of those being tutties. D Hop had 3 of those. Oh my Lord, Cole and Taylor Henneke did take over in this game at some point. 12 of 21, 175 yards, 1 touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 11 rushes, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Daryl Hodge. Well, I'll put it this way: any of your 3 Atlanta big receivers, none of them had a touchdown. The only one that did was Scott Miller. Was Scotty.
I would say I'm surprised, but honestly, it's the Arthur Smith special. Why even draft skill positions if you're not going to use them, aside from running back? Like, I, I don't I don't get this team. I will never get this team. You got Kyle Pitts, you got Van Jefferson, you got Drake London, which you kind of use, so I'll kind of give you a pass. Um, Jonnu Smith, only 1 reception, 1. I mean, just trade them all. Get a a pro style team that only runs the football. I mean, honestly, I'm so sick and tired of seeing Kyle Pitts underachieve every week because you don't know how to use him. I'm sick of seeing, Drake London. Look, I know technically this week they used him. They don't use him as much as they should. Van Jefferson's now in your purgatory. Like, what the actual heck is going on? Can we get like an actual NFL play caller here that, knows how to utilize your best weapons, please?
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, Atlanta fans, you got your wish. Desmond Ritter's sitting, Tyler Henneke's playing. I like Henneke too, but Ritter got hosed in my opinion. I mean, like I said, I like Henneke. It could go either way, but why did you give up on the guy so soon? And as for Will Levis, he's everything we thought he would be. I mean, he's kind of good. Derrick Henry being Derrick Henry. I mean, I don't think anybody's, kind of in awe about that one. D Hop was doing D Hop things with his D Hop friends. And the defense, I mean, they had, well, not a really good day, but I will say, sack day, they had a great day. 6 sacks. I mean, that's amazing if you're a Titans fan. But again, Falcons, get it together. Find somebody who can put it together. I am sick and tired of seeing this talent be wasted. Do
Yeah.
something.
I'm with you there on that one. It's pretty upsetting. Also, Desmond Ritter went out with a concussion. He was cleared to return, but decided it was better to just sit out the rest of the game.
No, I mean, like,
Oh no,
okay,
I know. Yeah, I know what you meant.
going for. I should have clarified that.
He is.
Yeah, going forward, Haneke's the starter. That's what they were saying.
Oh my Lord. All right. Well, that is a big shakeup for things. folks, on to the next game. We're going to stay in the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints beat the Indianapolis Colts of a score 38-27. So I think it was Sunday I texted you this. I said Gardner Minshew is the next Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Just you put this dude anywhere, he'll find a way to compete. And he looked good. I mean, 23 of 41, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor was back to Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss are doing tandem running back things. Just the perfect backs for this offense, honestly. JT 12 carries, 95 yards. Zach Moss 11 carries, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Downs had 7 receptions for 72 yards. Both touchdowns for the Colts on the receiving end were for Pittman Jr. and Drew Ogletree. Meanwhile, Derek Carr slinging the football, man. He's looking like that dude again. 19-27, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill had 9 carries for 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara had 17 for 59, 1 touchdown. And Jamal had 6 carries for 30. And then we got Rashid Shaheed, 3 receptions, 153 yards, 1 touchdown. And Alvin Kamara also had the other touchdown. Cole, after all of the yards I just talked about again, Minshew Mania is a thing still. Derek Carr seems to still have a bit of fight left in him. Wow.
Well, hey, Chooch, I need your help with this one. So this quarterback position that you keep talking about, like I've heard you mention it a few times. Now, me as a Raiders fan, I don't know what that is. So are you telling me that there is a position out there to where this guy can throw the ball to a receiver and the receiver can catch and go upfield? Like, is that how that works?
Yes.
So you're telling me he doesn't miss wide open passes all the
I
time?
mean, not all the
Devontae
time.
Adams?
Yeah.
We'll get more into that, but yeah, no. On a serious note, that was fun to watch. I mean, Minshew, he's doing his thing. Derek Carr is doing his thing. See, I think it's safe to say Saints won the swap between Garofalo and Carr. It's just as a Raiders fan, again, I'm speaking. I know it wasn't like a trade or nothing, but still, that's how I look at it. Anyways, to this game though, just a really solid back and forth, fun game. I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about this. You know, these two teams were just slugging it out, and a few plays went New Orleans' way. And that's how it goes sometimes. So all in all, really proud of both of these teams. And New Orleans, they're a 4-4 team. They're a dangerous 4-4 team.
Mhm.
If they can keep playing to the level they should, look out for this team when it comes to playoffs.
Remember, this is a team I had picked to lose only like 2 games this year.
Yeah.
Like, this New Orleans team is wildly talented, and I think they're finally starting to get in a rhythm here. And honestly, Indianapolis might be the best 3-5 team in football.
I agree.
They're always the best of whatever their record is in football. They're always just missing. And I bet you if Anthony Richardson's there, they're 5-3 maybe. No, they already had 4 losses with him. 3?
I think 3.
Yeah. So anyways, they could be 5-3, you know? But Cole, we preach balance, and this might have been the most balanced game.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's a question.
I know 41 passing attempts for Minshew is a lot, but you got 23 attempts out of just your running backs. That's for the slinging that was going on. That's good.
It is.
For 41 pass attempts, that's good. And you only were 12 less attempts than New Orleans. So, but like you said, this New Orleans team is dangerous. People got to watch out.
Especially in that division.
Yep. That's a very good division. Like a very tough division, I should say, this year. Because, I mean, Buccaneers defense, elite. And the offense isn't bad. They just got to get it going. I don't think Baker's confident anymore, but that's just, we know why.
Yeah.
Falcons are 4-4, and the Saints are 4-4, and the Panthers just won their first game. But, I mean, they got a rookie quarterback. They're in a rebuild. we'll leave them out of the
They'll be
conversation
good
for
in a
now.
little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, that's going to be a fun 3-way battle to watch there.
Agreed.
Next up, we have an AFC East matchup. The Dolphins put it to the Patriots of a score 31-17. Mac Jones, 19 to 29, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Really nothing to talk about running wise. There's really nothing to talk about for New England. Meanwhile, over in Miami, Tua, 30 of 45, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Raheem Mostert, 13 carries, 46 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 7 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Cole, this looks like a Madden stat sheet over here.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Wow. Listen, we get Miami's good. And New England's not great. Yeah, and plus New England's missing their stud rookie corner. Corner safety?
Gonzalez, safety.
Yeah.
No, corner. I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, but this is just this team, this Miami team. I mean, if they can figure out how to beat better teams, the better teams in the league, I think that's a Super Bowl favorite. And I'm saying that because of Greg.
You got to smile from that one, no doubt. Man, I really don't want to talk about New England. Every week it's like the same rant, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna maybe say a highlight player every now and again until they actually decide to, play football. Maybe I'll talk about them that week, but no, I'm not saying much. Mac Jones had a pretty good showing. That's about it for New England this week that I'll give them. Miami, on the other hand, what is there that has not been said? Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa looking good, Raheem Mostert helping out, defense playing well, 3 sacks, 1 pick, 7 QB hits. I mean, they're good. Let's like you were saying, if they can rise up to those big moments, watch out for this Miami team. They're hot.
And they're just a blast to watch play football.
Yeah.
I missed a game here.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
folks, we're gonna skip a game. That's fine. We're gonna skip a game
We'll
first.
come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back to the Jets Giants game. But anyways, the Jaguars. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna restart that one. The Steelers offensive woes continue. You threw the ball 43 times and only had 191 yards. You only ran the ball 18. I've seen more side-to-side movement than when I was on a ship in the middle of a hurricane on this offense than I have any forward progress the whole season. Someone's got to go, and it's the OC. And if it ain't the OC, you're firing Mike and the OC at this point in Pittsburgh. This is inexcusable for this franchise to be where it is because this team could be a 1-loss team right now. Or maybe a 2-loss team. They might have lost this game because Jacksonville's incredibly good this year. But why does your fan base and your players have to struggle with an absolute clown as an OC? Why?
Can I ask?
Call a more invigorating offense blind?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh still's got Najee Harris, right?
Kinda. I think so. I think he's still there.
Yeah, I mean, he's there, and he was a first-round pick. But when I look at this rushing sheet, I just get sad. I mean, he only got the ball 7 times for rushes. Yes, I know technically he got the ball 5 times through the air, but I'm not talking about that. You have one of the best rushers I ever saw come out of Alabama. And I know you might be groaning right now. You might go, oh, it's easy to look good when you have the O-line that he had. Yada, yada, yada. Look, I get it. I get it. Believe me, I don't like Alabama, but I do like Najee Harris. So you're gonna tell me this guy gets paid how much money to call an offense? Somebody can comment that in the comments. I'd appreciate it. This guy gets that much money just to not give Najee Harris the ball more than 7 times. Absolutely embarrassing. I mean, oh yeah, don't forget the motion part. By the way, you got to have the fake jet sweep or the tight end move because that really fools defenses in the pro level. And for if that's not bad enough, let's throw Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett into the fire. Have them throw 43 times. I'm sure it'll work out. What do you mean we only scored 10 points? What?
Matt Canada makes $2.5 million a year to call a mid-level high school offense.
That's too much money. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
This man is the biggest
fraud.
robbery. He conducts the biggest robbery ever. I mean, it quite literally might be the biggest. Not obviously money-wise, but for this lack of production with this team, this is sad. This makes my heart break. I mean, you have one of the best QBs, in my opinion, in the NFL, in Kenny Pickett. Love that guy. Watched him at Pitt. He won an ACC title at Pitt, the first and only ACC title at Pitt. He did that. He didn't magically become bad at football. Just want to point that out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then defensively, they did their thing. I mean, they held Jacksonville to 20 points. But when you're out on the field because some idiot is calling your offense, you're going to get gassed and you're going to give up some plays. And Jacksonville take nothing away. They played a good game. Trevor Lawrence, he was Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne helped out. Evan Ingram had some pretty nice plays. Calvin Ridley had some nice plays. Defense, I mean, you play the team that's in front of you, so you did your job. But this is embarrassing. I can't say anything more. I'm over it.
Yeah, and that's really all I got in that game. That's all I have to say about that because, like Cole said, Jacksonville was Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence was Trevor Lawrence. ETN did his thing. Ingram being Evan Ingram. Yeah, someone figure it out there because this isn't helping. But you know what else isn't helping? The Giants losing to literally the people you share the graveyard of ACLs with. Or the graveyard attendants, we shall say. There was only 14 passes made in this game because of how bad our offense is. Yeah, Saquon ran the ball. Cole, ready?
Yep.
36 times for 128 yards. And he didn't even get the touchdown. You know who got the lone touchdown for the Giants?
Who's
Tommy
that?
DeVito. He ran it in. Meanwhile, you got, oh, man, it's a great thing wide receivers don't exist. Oh, right. I forgot. We have those. But on the other side, Zach Wilson looks like, where were you? Where have you been? Did it really take you to play Kansas City at home to do this?
Yep.
Like, what happened, dude? Or was it Taylor Swift? Is that what it was? You're a Swiftie, and you got that happy. You're like, oh, I'm on. You're 17 at 36, 240 yards, 1 touchdown, bro. Where has this Zach Wilson been the last, 3 years?
Something like that. Yeah.
Did you actually learn something from Aaron Rodgers? Because Garrett Wilson had 100 receiving yards. I didn't think he'd see that the rest of the season. Wow. Cole.
I'm so just the irony of this. See, I asked Chooch if quarterback was a position, he asks me if wide receiver's a position. I mean, if you can't tell the herd is set in for both of us, then I don't know what else to tell you. Oh man, -9 passing yards.
Yeah.
I just want that to be
Mm-hmm.
said just one more time. -9 passing yards
Mm-hmm.
between two quarterbacks.
Yep.
Now, you might be thinking, well, this is a simple fix. Just get the Giants a quarterback. No. No, it's not that simple. I wish it was that simple for Chucha's sake. It's not. It literally, it's not. 4 sacks, 13 tackle for losses, and 8 QB hits is the stat sheet for this New York Jets defense. Keep that in mind. Saquon Barkley, like Chooch said, ran 36 times, 128 yards. Saquon, this is nothing on you, buddy. You did your job. Everybody else, what the actual heck was this? This is unexcusable. Also, not to mention, 2 fumbles. 2. Tyrod Taylor and Gunner. 2. Oh, this offense, I honestly, I know we talk about Matt Canada and we say awful things about him, and it's true. Scheme-wise, that's him. But it almost seems like talent-wise is this Giants, and I hate to say that because I like a lot of players on the team.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, like Darren Waller, freaking beast. I mean, that guy, he's good. Bellinger, love that guy too. Another really good one. Wandale Robinson, good wide receiver. Darius Slayton, good wide receiver. Jalen Hyatt, he tore up Alabama a year ago in college, but he was nowhere to be found. I
He's been
mean,
found all year.
yeah. What in the heck is up here? Nothing's making sense. Now I will say for the Giants defense, I mean, y'all did your job. You played pretty good. I mean, you held the team to 13 when your offense couldn't do jack shit. So, like, good job. And the big takeaway here, Giants, too, in terms of what you called balance. 52 runs if you add in everybody. If you're doing running backs alone, there was 41 rushes. Figure it out. Please figure it out. I don't know. I'm not blaming Dayball for this. I don't. This is just a
No,
really
he's
bad
he's as
year.
much a victim as Gettleman as the fans, Saquon, Daniel Jones, and Reese are.
Yeah,
Gettleman put this team so far in a hole, this franchise so far in a hole, that when it looks like they made a step, there's still another hole to get out of.
right.
So, like, that man should be arrested.
Oh, he should. The hell he's put you guys through. Oh, that's that.
Like,
He's
Reese is trying his best to correct all that, and he can't.
no, not in 2 years at least.
No. But we're gonna jump to the we're just gonna jump across a couple hours down the Turnpike or the Garden State Parkway, and down to Philly and Washington, where the Eagles beat the Commanders 38-31. Jalen Hurts 29-38, 319 yards, 4 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift had 16 carries, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. AJ Brown he's that dude. 8 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. 7 and Devontae Smith had 7 receptions for 99 yards, 1 touchdown. Julio
Pretty
also touchdown, by the way, 1 reception, 8 yards. Meanwhile, in the Washington camp, Sam Howell 39 of 52, 397 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Brian Robinson Jr. 10 carries, 59 yards. Jahan Dotson 8 receptions, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. Jamison Crowder, 7 receptions, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 5 receptions, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Logan Thomas, 6 receptions, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Woo!
Chooch,
Cole,
you're gonna have
we've
to help me here
we've
with
been talking
some.
about yards galore the
Yeah,
last few games. What is it's like exploding in front of us?
help me out with this. What is that word that starts with a B, and we've talked about it for the last 2 weeks? Do you remember that word?
Bandwagon?
No, 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 not that one. That's a good
Balance?
one though. Balance, yeah, that's the one. 10 rushes with Robinson and 2 rushes with Gibson. And before you type, because believe me, I know how internet people work, because I used to be one myself. Okay, when you are about to type this hateful message about, oh, well, look at how many points they scored. Look at the Sam Howell highlight tape. Look at the stat line. Look, I get it. I like Sam Howell too. He's on my fantasy team. All right, I love the kid. I watched him since North Carolina. Chooch and I have been talking him up forever. I love that guy. Um, but you need to run. Why do the Eagles win? They run the football. They have a dominating O line. They have a Super Bowl contending team. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Washington is on that route, but I think they're just a little bit off still. But this is a tremendous stepping stone for Washington. This defense, if they could get it figured together, they could be a very scary team because this offense, it's there. This is literally like watching Ole Miss last year. That's what this reminds me of. Defense is a year away, or even USC. Take your pick. It's kind of the same thing from a year ago. You
No,
know,
the defense in USC is way more than a year away.
well,
We
no, I'm saying last year though, like the two teams were literally like side by side with everything they did. Um, but no, I mean, yeah, USC they need some help. But anyways, back to this. If they could find a way to improve that defense, this is a scary 3-5 team. I mean, I
Mhm.
think second scariest behind the Colts. Um, you know,
Um, I'll let you finish. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
oh,
ahead.
you're good.
I'll comment on that. Go ahead.
But yeah, I like this team. Just get a little bit balanced in the run game, and try and fix the defense. Again, I really don't know what the deal is with that. And then for the Eagles, I mean, what can you say? They're the Eagles. They're a team that's probably heading back, maybe winning the NFC title again. Um, Obviously, not the defensive showing you wanted either, but the reason why I'm not saying improve the defense is just because Sam Howell balled out and there really wasn't much you could do. So yeah, give me that's my take from this.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take back that scariest 3-5 thing because it's definitely Washington. Yeah, Sam Howell is a far more competent quarterback than Gardner Minshew. That's not Minshew's fault. It's just Sam Howell's younger, more athletic. He's got a better arm, better feet. So that's what I gotta say on that. And Philly, just I don't know what else there is to say to you guys except just if you're gonna at least beat Washington, beat them by 14 next time, not 7, because me as a Giants fan is gonna feel real bad when we get blown out by you guys later this year. So just please beat them by more. So when we inevitably beat them at some point, oh wait, we did. Just kidding. Yes. Oh man. Anyways, this was a low scoring affair. This was I think this was I don't even know what this was, but the Panthers edged out the Texans 15-13. Walk off, field goal, Pinheiro, Bryce Young 22 of 31, 235 yards, 1 touchdown. Chuba Hubbard 15 carries, 28 yards. Blackshear 3 carries, 5 yards. Adam Thielen, though, 8 receptions, 72 yards, and the one touchdown was by Tommy Tremble. 2 receptions, 4 yards, 1 touchdown. Meanwhile, CJ Stroud, 16-24, 140 yards. Damian Pierce, 12 carries, 46 yards. Devin Singletary, 10 carries, 30 yards. Nico Collins, 4 receptions, 30 yards. I mean, Houston had 6 sacks. So there's that at least. Bryce Young didn't turn the ball over. You should have won the game, but your defense couldn't make that late stand. Cole. Bryce Young gets his first win as the Panthers starter, and Panthers fans must I mean, there's not much to look forward to with this team for at least another couple of years, but hey, the first one came not at the end of the season.
Well, I will say this, Jonathan Greener, dog. I mean, ever since Florida, I've liked watching this kid. So that was nice to see. He got 2.5 sacks against this Carolina team. And Houston did a really good job of, pressuring the QB and sacking Bryce, but he still made the most out of it and really kept pushing his team towards the win. So, at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. I don't really have a whole lot to say, other than that. I mean, this was kind of, the rookie QB duels, and Bryce Young ended up winning this one and definitely deserved it more this game. I will say, Texans, can you please help me? Like, I'm trying to figure you out, and it's like every time I think I have you figured out, you either win and beat a team that I did not expect you beating, or you lose to a team that you should have beat. So can we please get that together? Thank you.
So, folks, we're gonna move on here. We're gonna stay. Actually, we're gonna go to an interconference battle here. The AFC North takes on the NFC West with the Browns traveling to Seattle to lose by 4. And PJ Walker had 2 interceptions, but he threw for 248 yards and 1 touchdown. He was just under 50% passing. Gino, 23 of 37, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Kenneth Walker, 8 carries, 66 yards. Kareem Hunt did his thing. Pierre Strong did his thing. Jerome Ford, PJ, Amari, 6 receptions, 89 yards. David Njoku, 4 receptions, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Lockett had 81 yards, 1 touchdown. Metcalf, 67 yards. And Jackson Smith and Jigba had a touchdown along with 3 receptions for 36 yards. Cole. The fact that Cleveland only had 1 sack is impressive. That speaks to the
readiness
strength.
of this.
Yeah, just the strength of this Seattle offense now.
Well, I will say the one thing I love about the I should say the 2 things I love about the Seattle organization is they address their needs, and they don't do what looks smart in the eyes of the media and of the big name people who watch and are analysts and that. Like, for example, trading Russell Wilson. Everybody thought, oh, this is going to be the worst thing ever. This team's going to suck. And then, they had a pretty good year a year ago. They even made the playoffs. Then this year, they were like, it was a fluke year. They're not going to do anything. Well, here we are again, 5-2. They're kind of good again. And meanwhile, the Broncos are still suffering, but we'll get into that later. That's why I like Pete Carroll, and that's why I like the front office so much, is they actually know what they're doing in terms of football operation. The second thing they do well is they get these freaks in the draft that for some reason teams pass up on, and I'm not too sure why that is, but like they do it. DK Metcalf was a story like that. Derek Hall this year out the draft was one of those. I mean, he had 4 tackles, 2 solo tackles. I mean, let's just put it this way: Pete Carroll and that front office, they're playing 10D chess. Everybody else is just kind of looking up in awe. And then as for Cleveland, it's really interesting with this team. I mean, I know, Deshaun Watson hasn't really exactly turned out how you wanted. He didn't play again. PJ Walker was the guy. He did an okay job. Kind of surprised DTR is not given more of a nod. I kind of thought he would. But and to those people who say like, "Oh, well, he had his chance. He didn't play very good." He's a rookie. Give the guy some time. Let's bring back the quarterback patient development, please. Like
Mm-hmm.
to where, they're going to make mistakes and you don't want them gone after a year. That'd be cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, this was, a typical game between two really good coach teams, and Seattle pulled it out. That's pretty much the takeaway.
I know you're right. But we're gonna jump to the AFC South. I mean AFC West. Wow. Um,
Wow.
where I don't know if Patrick Mahomes just doesn't know how to play football in the snow anymore or what, but Kansas City could not get it rolling here as they lost 24-9 to Denver. Javonte Williams had 27 carries over 85 yards. There was balance. I mean, yeah, balance. Um, Mahomes 24 38, 241 yards, and 2 interceptions. Pacheco ran the ball 8 times for 40 yards. Mahomes 3 times for 20. Kelsey 6 receptions, 58 yards. And I mean, the passing sheet in Kansas City is littered with people, and there's like 5 dudes on the Denver side because their defense is just their defense. They did their thing. They had 2 picks. You guys, Cole,
Yep.
what happened to the Chiefs?
So let me ask you all a question. Again, feel free to comment down below when you see this. Has anybody ever watched Rocky 3? Because, am I the only one who's seen that in this day and age? Because I just feel like not too many people watch the Rocky series or talk about it enough anymore. This reminded me of Rocky 3. I think this is the point to where, I mean, kind of like the vice versa, I guess you could say. I know Rocky wins, the second fight with Apollo, but this kind of reminds me of that first fight when Rocky fights Clover. Rocky, he's all distracted. He's got, when he's training for the fight, he's like doing it with a bunch of people in his gym and they're all taking pictures and it's just like a light feel. And honestly, I think that's what happened this week. I think the Chiefs are going, oh, it's the Broncos. I mean, they suck. We already beat them once. And I think everybody just kind of took it off. That's what it looked like to me. Mahomes had 1 fumble, 2 picks. Um, MVS had a fumble. Mecole Hardman had a fumble. By the way, welcome back. You know, Yeah, that's what it looked like offensively, and not to mention, I think Mahomes had a flu or something. That's what they were saying. Um,
Oh.
and then also, Kansas City, 6 sacks. So, that's a plus when your defense can carry and do their thing. Um, but the defense, they did their job for the most part. I mean, they got to the quarterback, they affected Russell Wilson, but all at the end of the day, Denver just did enough to win, and that's all you have to do. And what's the best way to beat an offense who's not going to score? The answer is score.
Yeah, no, he's right. He's very much right about that. Meanwhile, we had a barn burner in Arizona apparently this weekend. Baltimore beat the Cardinals 31-24. Lamar Jackson being subpar, throwing again as always. He only missed 9 guys 9 times, but he only threw for 157 yards. Actually, he only ran the ball 5 times, so I can't even blame this one on you. You won anyways, but still, you see where I'm at with this one. Gus Edwards, 19 carries, 80 yards, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Mark Andrews had a touchdown. I think we can chalk it up for the first one in a long time.
About 5 years, give or take.
Meanwhile, Josh Dobbs in his last game for Arizona did ball out 25 of 37, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Emery DeMarcado, 20 carries, 78 yards. Dobbs had 6 carries, 26 yards, 1 tutty. With Trey McBride having 10 receptions for 95 yards and a touchdown, and Marquise Brown also having 6 receptions, 33 yards, and a touchdown. Cole, what? Arizona.
So I was thinking about this and I was like, what could I compare Arizona to? And you're going to like this answer, I think. Maybe some of you who watch the college football show, you'll like it too. I'm donning darn it, I almost just gave it away. I'm donning Arizona as the Stanford of the NFL. Everybody clap. The- thank you, thank you. The reason I'm doing this is because if you don't follow the college football show, you might not get the reference. Stanford has an uncanny ability of beating a really good team that they're not supposed to, or having like a magical moment of some kind in beating somebody. This year it was beating Colorado when they were down 29-0 at half. And that's what the Cardinals is. I mean, they had a magical moment. They beat the Cowboys. And ever since then, they'll play you close, but they're probably not going to win. And that's been their story the last couple of weeks. You know, having some good showings, maybe getting blown out every now and again, but losing ultimately. So this is the Stanford of the pro football. Now, as for the Ravens, I kind of have a question about this defense because, like, I don't personally understand how you give up 24 points to the Cardinals. Maybe that's just me, and maybe it's like a new hip trend that just I'm too old to understand. Maybe, but yeah, that's a week you kind of want to forget about. And you didn't really pressure Dobbs much. I mean, you had 7 QB hits, 2 sacks. Um, but the MVP of this game for sure was Gus Edwards, and give credit to Lamar Jackson. I mean, he was pretty accurate with the ball, only missed 9 times, and he was pretty safe with it. So that's my takeaway, and congratulations, New Stanford.
uh, Folks, we're going to move on to a game that coming out party. We're going to call it that. Cincinnati thrashed San Fran. Granted, San Fran's been a bit off. Brock Purdy, 22 of 31, 365 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. McCaffrey only ran the ball 12 times. Purdy ran the ball 6 times. But George Kittle, 9 receptions, 149 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 5 receptions, 109 yards. Joe Burrow. Sorry, Joey Burrex. 28 to 32, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, the other Joe Mixon, 16 carries, 87 yards, 1 touchdown. And your boy, Jamar, had 10 receptions, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. His long was 20 yards. He had 12 targets. Cole,
So
you
Chooch,
must be dancing.
you saw the POV, okay?
Oh yeah, you must be dancing.
Well, Chooch, I need your help with this one, okay? Everybody told me after like week 3 that Cincinnati was done. I how did they just beat San Fran? I thought the season was over. I thought they were like the worst team ever, something like that. What? How, did this is fake, right? But folks, I do want to say, if you look back on, I think it was 2 weeks ago, because since he was on a bye week last week, remember what was said on this podcast, and I warned you guys. Chooch and I, we warned you guys about Cincinnati coming out and winning this game. And look and behold, they did. They dominated on every front of this game. Now, I know some of you people in the comments might be like, oh, well, 49ers, they were regressing anyways. I mean, they're already on a downward slope. This win isn't as impactful as you make it out to be. And you could say that. But remember this. When Cincinnati is in the AFC title game, keep that same energy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah,
as
you hold them accountable.
for San Fran, I genuinely don't know what to think because you had such a strong start to the season. You beat Dallas, and everybody kind of put you on a pedestal and was like, this is the best team in football, and myself included. I was in the shuffle for a little bit. Um, Now you're revealing your true colors. Also, again, second week in a row we're having this talk, San Fran. Why did Christian McCaffrey, the guy who's like really, really good, apparently like destroys defenses, you only gave him, want to take a guess at how many rushes? 12. 12 rushes. For the second week in a row, you continue to do nothing with this guy who's got so much God given talent, could literally carry your offense, and you only gave him 12. Now, don't get me wrong, I know he's injury prone, I know there's concern, but only 12 rushes? I'm disappointed. I know you threw it to him 6 times, and you'll act like that makes up for it, but again, balance. So that's what I gotta say about this one.
Yep, and Cincinnati, man, keep it up. Just keep
Yes.
it up. Prove everyone wrong that Joe's not washed, because we all know that was a crock of garbage.
Exactly.
Folks, we're gonna move on to the second to last game here. Simply, I'm just gonna put it as the Chargers played football the first half and then skated and still won. 30-13. Herbert only missed 9 passes this game. He's looking like Justin Herbert. That man, he's good. 31-40, 298 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Staley, almost Staley.
Oh, I know. But hey, Tyson Bagnet, 25-37, 232 yards, 2 picks. But hey, someone had over 9 receptions this game for Chicago.
I could not believe my eyes.
Cole Kmet, 10 receptions, 79 yards.
Oh, but I will say about this Chargers team, like Austin Eckler, 15 rushes for 29. Joshua Kelly, 6 for 21. Spiller, 3 for 3. Like, I'm kind of giving you a pass in terms of the run game because at least you kind of tried something different, but it's still not the numbers I was hoping for. So, again, maybe we could work more on that going forward. Justin Herbert, like Juch was saying, he did his thing. Rocket, rocket, rocket. 3 touchdowns. No sacks, by the way. Great job by the pocket doing their job. And then as for the Bears, Tyson Bagnut. I said baguette earlier. Somebody was really upset, so we'll stick with Bagnut. He's looking good. He's giving the little guy a chance. He could be, the next great story that, nobody saw this coming. He was not really great in college, and yet here he is doing things in the pros. So keep going, son. And as for the wide receiving room, DJ Moore only 4 receptions, man. What the heck? Komet getting 10, that was cool to see. And the defense, you tried, but you got, you got chargered.
Yeah, I really like that Jordan Palmer kid, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. But we're going to move on to the last game here.
Do we really? Please, no.
All right, so everyone, the Lions beat the Raiders 26-14. Basically, Jimmy G's the biggest fraud ever. He's the biggest con artist there is in football. Jared Goff's the man. That pick was awful, by the way. But Jahmyr Gibbs, 26 carries, 152 yards, 1 touchdown. It's almost like we were saying
Why
that he was going to be this good.
why would you pick him? You know, I mean, he was a top 15 pick. Come on, you could have drafted anybody better than that. It's gonna be terrible. He's gonna suck. Wait a minute. He's good. I mean, I always supported the pick. Come on, guys. By the way, I do want to say, bandwagoners who are claiming that you love the pick now, please don't. Stick where you were. Eat your
Yep.
crow. I can honestly say, Chooch was my witness. Jacob was my witness. He was a little torn about the pick. I loved this pick from the beginning, and I'm so happy he's finally shutting up the doubters. And you just wait till a later part of this video. We're not done here. We're gonna pick this back up.
Oh yeah, no, we're not done here.
But as for Vegas, oh man, what are some happy things I can say? You know, Devontae Adams got open. Oh wait, you missed him. Wait, he's open again. Wait, Jimmy, throw it to him. You threw it out of bounds? Jimmy, he's wide open. It's a touchdown. It'll put you within 3 points, and you miss him again. Devontae, if you ever see this, I just want you to know, we're suffering together, buddy. I mean, honestly, you got open like 15 times all game, and dumbass McGee couldn't get you the ball. Oh, he did once. My mistake. One time. You literally had 3 touchdowns, and he couldn't find you. 3. Can we stop with this bullshit already, Vegas? You put me through it every freaking week. 6 sacks, a quarterback that doesn't know how to play. McDaniels is an idiot, but hey, congratulations on finally figuring that out and firing him. It's only took you, too many weeks. Should have been happening, I don't know, maybe week 4, but hey, at least we're here. Run game, I mean, Josh Jacobs did what he could. He literally was the heart and soul on the stat sheet, at least. Defense, you tried, but when you have a quarterback who quite literally won't help you in any regard of the word, it's tough. I don't really fault you. You did all you could. You just no help from the offense. Again, I feel like this is a revolving door that just constantly smacks all its fans in the face. So Raiders Nation, at least we'll get a top draft pick. I can't really say anything else.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Knowing my luck, we'll probably get like 10. Which wouldn't be awful, but you kind of want a better draft pick when it's been this depressing of a season.
Yeah. But folks, that was the week 8 review. Yeah, we had numbers jump out at us like a lore there. That was a lot of talking.
Oh, that was great.
So now for the quick little break here, fantasy takes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, this is where we pick our good, our meh, and our blah picks. Cole, start this one off. Who's your good?
Yes, sir. So my good, and hey, Lions fans again. Remember when I said we weren't done? Well, here we are. Jahmyr Gibbs, 27-40. He had 152 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 37 passing yards. But don't worry, I'm sure it was still a reach. I'm sure he was still an awful pick. I'm sure there's XYZ you could have picked better. I'm sure the pick still sucks, right, guys?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't hear you. But why are they? Chooch, they stopped talking. Where'd they go?
Oh, I don't know. They're somewhere.
Man, it's really depressing. I wanted to have a nice civil conversation with them. Huh. All right, but my medium, or meh in this case, I'm going to talk Cortland Sutton, wide receiver for the Broncos. He wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. He put up 990. He had 1 receiving touchdown, 29 yards, 2 receptions. it's not ideal, but it's something. Compared to what he's normally been doing, this is a step up. So, sir, keep it up and do even better than this. Make this kind of a distant memory. So keep doing your thing, Sutton. Love to see it. And then, for the part you all have been waiting for, what is the bad part, you might be asking yourself? Well, let's get into it. Davante Adams. Now, this doesn't go against Davante Adams. I'm not hating on Davante Adams. I sympathize with you. So this really is more bashing on the Raiders, Davante, but I'm using you as an example. So in reality, I'm actually going to say like Jimmy G, just so Davante doesn't get the blame here. So Jimmy G, why does your best wide receiver have one reception for 11 yards? Care to answer? Please type back. Please respond. I would love to hear from you on why this is a thing. The guy literally has done everything to try to make you look better, and you still suck. I mean, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. I really did. But when it happens every week, it gets old. So yeah, that's my bad. I mean, get it together. Get this guy off the field. Give it to a real quarterback who can advance the offense like Aiden O'Connell. And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, he had his chance. He wasn't good. Again, he's a rookie. Give him time. Give him chances. Please. And if he's not great, don't give up on him in 1 year. Jimmy G, so far this season, has 9 interceptions, 7 TDs. It couldn't get much worse.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. GBG, you gotta go. But, my good. Whoo-wee! Hey, Jordan Love.
Ooh.
16.5 points. Not like you had a bad game, but just for the amount of yards you put up and the touchdown, the picks. I mean, at least it wasn't a pick six. So, but 16.5 for that. That's not bad. So I'm going to give you the good on that one. My man, though, is, oh, Lord, I just lost it. I'm sorry, folks.
It wouldn't be a show if it wasn't something wrong at some point.
Yep. AJ Dillon. You're supposed to be the premier guy here. You're supposed to be like the back. You only got 7 points. 7, dude. Come on, Green Bay. Get this guy more involved. And it's not your fault, AJ. That's why you're mad. But my bland, I just had it here. It was a defense. And I really Indianapolis. I get it. I said that New Orleans was going to be very good, but your defense is supposed to be exceptionally good. And 38 points to this offense. Come on, guys. This defense has to be better, and that one hurt. But that's what I have, Cole, for my fantasy takes. You ready for the trade deadline?
I am. I'm excited.
All right, folks. So I'm going to go back to. I'm just going to do yesterday. Here. Yes, right here. I got it. Okay. Sorry, I was making sure I was reading that thing right. So, as everyone knows, yesterday in the NFL was the trade deadline. All teams had till I believe it was 4 p.m. Eastern or Pacific.
I believe you're correct.
To make their trades. So Atlanta traded a 2024 sixth-round pick to the Eagles for defensive lineman Kentavious Street and a 2025 seventh-round pick.
I think this move, it's okay. I mean, I don't think it's, kind of ideal, but it really doesn't hurt anything. The value's not awful, so it's fine.
Buffalo traded a 2024 third and fifth round draft picks to the Green Bay Packers for cornerback Rasul Douglas Cole.
Um, man, I went back and forth about this because it's like I don't have an issue per se with Rasul Douglas, but for the amount you gave up for him, I really question it because it's like, it does kind of help out the secondary, but is it worth the capital? I guess time will tell. I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Yeah, we'll see, but they need the help right now at
That's
quarterback.
true.
So in a surprise trade yesterday, the Chicago Bears traded a 2024 second-round pick to the Washington Commanders for defensive end Montez Sweat. That's the surprise. The Commanders trading Sweat. Why? You're not out of a playoff race.
Well, okay, so there's a few ways to look at this. Like, okay, first off, my question was going to be the value. Because if you're thinking about trading Sweat, I kind of got it. Because it's like, okay, he's somewhat injury prone, he's getting older, he's okay, but he isn't, as great as everybody thought he would be, myself included. Coming out of Mississippi State, I was like, oh man, he could be the next, really good guy. He could, change the DN position. He could be kind of like what Nick Bosa is today. Um, he turned out to be good, but he wasn't quite, what you wanted him to be, I guess, in this scheme. So I kind of get it, but value return, I mean, a second rounder's okay, but personally, I would have rather tried to get a first. Even if you had to give up like a fourth or a third, I would have done that instead of just really getting a second. I know there's some good talent in the second round usually, but I don't know. Uh, if you're Washington, I think you could have got more, but I think it's okay for what you did. And if you're the Bears, honestly, I don't get it. I mean, I know your D line sucks, but bringing in somebody who's already nearing 30, I don't know about that. I mean, if you're looking to build off of it in the short term to long, then it makes sense. But if you're looking as a, kind of like an option like what Khalil Mack would be today if he came back, um, I don't think it's the right thing. So I'm again kind of iffy, but it just really depends on what they're trying to do with this trade on both sides.
Yeah. So Cleveland traded Donovan Peoples-Jones to Detroit in exchange for a 2025 sixth-round pick. I feel like Detroit kind of got away with one there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I would have done it for a fourth or a third, but a sixth, that's kind of a robbery.
Yeah. Minnesota traded Ezra Cleveland to Jacksonville in exchange for a 2024 sixth round pick.
I mean, you see, the tough thing about O-line trading is it could be a new change of scenery awakens them to be better, but at the same time, it could be, their full potential and see regression. So I'm fine with this value-wise. I think you could have maybe did a little bit better, but sixth round, that's okay. I probably would have tried something different, maybe a package deal of some kind.
Yeah. So the Giants kind of shook the world when they traded defensive lineman Leonard Williams to the Seattle Seahawks. That's all it says. They got, I forgot where the pick was. Oh my lord!
Second for 2024 and a fifth for 2025.
Thank you, Cole, because
Y-
it didn't show it on the thing here. um, I don't like. I get the move. We need the pick. Um, but at the same time, like maybe it's just a bad year, you know. But I get it. Leonard Williams is what 31.
I think so, yeah, 31,
Um,
32.
so I get it. And Seattle's trying to make a push, and that's a guy that they need.
As an outsider looking in, I like the trade personally just for the Giants. If anything, I think they kind of fleeced in this. Like to get a second and a fifth, I think that's like crazy.
Um, well, folks, we have we have the Contavious Street to Atlanta. Josh Dobbs and a conditional 2024 seventh round pick was sent to Minnesota from the Cardinals for a 2024 sixth round draft pick.
Wait, hold on. Say that again?
The Cardinals traded Josh Dobbs and a conditional 2024 seven. I don't know why I'm trying to say 2024 seventh round draft pick to Minnesota in exchange for a 2024 sixth round draft pick.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the way I said it the first time was weird. Sorry.
So I got it in my head that Dobbs was going for a fourth and a sixth, and I was about to have a meltdown on stream. I'm glad it's not that way. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this answers the short-term quarterback thing, maybe even long-term, but I think it's more of a short-term move. And you get, a fourth-round pick out of it. You only lose a sixth. This is really a win for the Vikings, in my opinion. For the Cardinals, this was a complete just down, especially with that fourth. If you did Dobbs outright for the sixth, I could see it.
Washington, this is probably the biggest one.
This one pissed me off. But go
Washington
ahead.
traded defensive end Chase Young to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a second round pick in this upcoming year's draft.
Oh, it was a second? I thought it was a third.
Nope.
Oh, a second. Okay. So I'm a little less pissed off than I was initially because I read on ESPN it was a third. So if it's a second, that's a little bit better, but I'm still pissed off about it. Do you understand what you just did? You gave Chase Young, who, by the way, if you remember him out of college, he was a generational looking end. And now he gets to pair with Nick Bosa, who's another generational end. The NFL's in trouble. Let's just put it that way. This defensive front just got ridiculous. And all it costed them was a second round pick. Now, I get there's health concerns. If Chase Young can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, this is going to be looked at as the trade that set up San Francisco to new heights. I really believe that. So this pisses me off because it's like, Commanders, why did you give up on Chase Young? Why did you give up on what he could have been in your system? And now you send him to a place where DNs are literally filling the streets with just greatness whenever they get to San Fran. So you single-handedly screwed the league over. Thanks, Commanders.
Wow, that was. Oh, I'm excited to see how that fits together over there. Bosa and Young back together after their dominant days at Ohio State.
Oh,
Oh man. Whew,
I'm
don't. Oh
picturing it.
man. That's going to be fun. I'll tell you what, that NFC West just got more interesting, and that was a big power move to get through that Philadelphia O line, and you know that.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else we want to cover for trade deadlines?
Well, McDaniel's being fired.
Right. McDaniels and the GM were fired.
Yes, this was needed, Raiders. This was needed. No more. Well, I mean, technically, still gonna be the rest of the season that's gonna be miserable, but going forward, there is hope. Finally. Yeah, I'm very excited that we actually have a chance to, be good again. So, thank you.
Yeah. Folks, hopefully the Raiders are better now or show some sort of life. Aiden O'Connell hopefully starts. Jimmy G gets benched and or cut, but Tom Brady
Please.
partly owns them, so who knows? Folks, that's all I got for you. Cole, anything for these wonderful folks before we?
Well, I'm just gonna say thank you again for allowing us to do this. Talking NFL and football in general is just so much fun. So, thank you all. God bless y'all, and have a beautiful All Saints Day. That's what today is. So, you didn't get to Mass, head on over. Peace.
Folks, that's Cole. I'm Chooch. This has been the JCP End Zone Perspective NFL Week 8 show with the trade deadline recap with all the trades. It wasn't as many as we thought there was, but you know what, folks? Sometimes you're just misconstrued. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you again on Friday for the college show. Don't miss it.
It's gonna be
We're out.
special.
It's going to be beautiful.